Good evening, good evening. How is it going tonight? Uh so so yeah, this tonight is gonna be a little bit different to say the least. Like quite a bit different. Um I was messing around with is it with AI and all that, and it's like, you know what? I should actually just for shits and giggles, we should put um we should try doing like a D&D one shot. I've never played D&D. Always kind of one of those things I was kind of always interested in, but nothing like too crazy. So I figured, you know what, let's do this. I'll read this through the story. We'll use chat interpretation on what we should do. I have an app for rolling dice and everything like this, so this should be something kind of interesting. So kind of see how this goes. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I don't know how well this is gonna go. I never played D&D. Interesting idea for a stream. Hey, PlayStation. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I kind of mess around with everything here, so we'll try it. We'll give it a shot, right? Hey, Cheryl. How's it going tonight? So yeah, I never played D&D before, so this one would just be kind of more of a story time with Stu, right? Hey, I'm just gonna call you Ram. How's it going tonight, guys? So yeah, today we are gonna just, as I said, I'm just tossing it out there. This is gonna be more story time with Stu. So we're just gonna be running it through an AI chatbot. Let it be, it's my dungeon master, and I'll try to do the best I can with voice acting and all this other stuff. I'm trying to figure out a way that when it creates an area, that it also will generate a picture at the same time. And the plus side, this is all running off my computer. I'm not running it off a data center. This is all within my computer. So something kind of neat to try out. I don't know how well this is going to go, but we're going to try anyway, right? So, all right, so let's get into this. And I have also kind of music kind of going in the background too, so kind of make it a little bit something. Is this going to be a poor stream? Yes, but is it going to be kind of neat? We'll see. So, okay, let's go into this. All right, I'm going to just oh, I need. I'll go like this. Zoom in so you guys can actually see. What is this about? I don't know yet. This is just going to be straight a D&D playthrough, and we'll kind of see how this goes. It should be interesting to say the least, right? Right over there. There we go. So here's the prompts I put in. I'm new to Dungeons and Dragons. I would like to try a one-shot adventure with you as my dungeon master. I would like to start off fairly easy, and then eventually work my way up to more deeper mechanics. I'd also like to perform my own dice rolls. Straightforward. Fantastic. Welcome to the wonderful world of D&D. It's great that you're starting with a one-shot. It's a perfect way to get your feet wet, and I'm happy to be your dungeon master for this adventure. I'll keep things relatively simple first, focusing on storytelling and character interaction. We'll gradually introduce you to more complex mechanics as it becomes available. And you'll absolutely roll the dice. Don't worry about being perfect. We'll have fun, and we'll learn together. So, okay, let's start off with the basics. Character creation, quick and easy. For your first shot, we'll keep it very simple. We use pre-generated characters for the first time. This will save us time and allow you to focus on the story. You have three options. Alara, Metal Light, a Halfling Ranger, a cheerful Halfling with the knack for tracking and the love of nature. Good for beginners, focus on exploration and simple combat. Okay. Torvin Stonebeard, a dwarf warrior, sturdy dwarf warrior, loyal and brave, eager to prove his strength. More straight for combat focus. Okay. And Lyra Shadowmoon, a human rogue, a nimble human with a talent for stealth, and a penchant for uncovering secrets. Good for puzzle solving and sneaky encounters. What would you like to play with? Just tell me the name. You subscribe? Well, I appreciate that, Cheryl. Basic mechanics, we'll use D20s. We'll use a 20-sided die for your character to do something. I'll ask you to roll, which should work like this. Got that working. We rolled a D12. There we go. So let's just have stuff like this, and is it gonna clear off, or I don't know. I gotta make sure this is all working. Oh, there's go. It's gone. Okay, modifiers, all these numbers, blah, blah, blah. Success and failure, I'll tell you what happens as a result of your roll. The Adventurer, the Missing Shepherd. Our adventure will be a small contained story about a missing shepherd and his flock in a quiet village named Oakhaven. Villagers are worried. They need our help to find him. There we go. So there we go. Okay, so let's start with choosing your character. Which one of Alara, Torvin, Lyra would you like to play? Just tell me the numbers, 1, 2, or 3. You choose. We'll get started. You need to go to bed? Oh, well, that's all right. You know, it's late, so that's okay. You have yourself a good sleep if you're heading off. Or if you want story time, put me on the background. My poor voice acting will do the trick. But what character should we play as? Should we play as the Halfling Ranger, the Dwarf Warrior, or the Human Rogue? Which one should we do, guys? Tell me what should we play as? I will let you guys decide. You'll be back tomorrow? I'm not too sure if I'll be back, but hey, if I am, hey, all the better. All right. All right, what do you guys think? Actually, wait, I could probably do something like this. Screw this up. It's here. Can I actually do this? Quick roll. 1d3. That actually worked. I wonder. D3. I'm boring, but I tend to usually go with human in whatever game I'm playing. That works. Let's just see. I just want to see if this works. Nope. Okay. All right. So let's go with the human rogue. I'm good with that. Let's go with option 3. Okay, actually, I want to make sure that you guys can see everything here. All right. Excellent choice. You have chosen Lyra Shadowmoon, the human rogue. Let's flesh her out a bit. Lyra is quick-witted, observant, and always looking for an opportunity. She favors dark clothing and a hooded cloak to help her blend into the shadows. Here's what we know about Lyra. Stats simplified. Strength is 8, -1 modifier, not particularly physically strong. Okay. Dex is 16. I think that at +3. Is that good? Very agile and nimble. This is her key stat. Okay. Intelligence is 12. Modifier average. Okay. Modifier can be charming, but not naturally persuasive. Lyra starts with a dagger, a set of thieves' tools, a hooded cloak, and some basic rations. All right. All right. You find yourself in the villages You find yourself in the village square of Oakhaven. The sun is beginning to set, casting long shadows across the cobblestone streets. Actually, let's see if I can find some other music here. Where did I put it? Oh. Let's go like this. Okay, stop this. I think this should be good. There we go. We can put a little bit of effort into this. A little bit. There we go. You find yourself in the village square of Oakhaven. The sun is beginning to set, casting long shadows across the cobblestone streets. Villagers are mulling about, whispering nervously. You arrived earlier today, drawn by rumors of a missing shepherd and a reward offered by the village elder, Celius Blackwood. Celius approaches you with his face etched in worry. Thank goodness you've come. My son, Gareth, he has been missing for 2 days now. He's been tending my sheep near the Whispering Woods and simply vanished. The villagers are starting to fear goblins or worse. He gestures towards the worried-looking group of villagers huddled nearby. What do you do? Let's see. We can speak directly to Celius, ask him more questions about Gareth and his disappearance. Examine the area around the village, looking for clues that might help with Gareth's whereabouts. Approach the worried villagers and try to glean information from the team. Just tell me tell me A, B, or C, and don't forget, we roll D20 with your dexterity. Determines how and I make up my own action? Or should I follow A, B, or C? That's a fantastic question, a brilliant move on your part. You can absolutely make your own action. D&D is all about player agency. You're just not following the script, so you're shaping the story. However, for your first time, let's stick with options A, B, and C to get a feel of how things work. Okay, that's fair. Don't worry, you can always deviate later. Let's go ahead and proceed. And option B, examine the villagers. And look for any clues that might lead to Gareth's whereabouts. Cilius watches you with a hopeful expression as you begin to scan the area. The square is relatively small and dominated by a well in the center, with a few stalls selling crafts. You notice a few things. Check something. All right. You notice a few things. A muddy footprint, clearly from a boot. Near the edge of the square, heading towards the Whispering Woods. A broken twig lying on the ground, seemingly snapped recently. A small tarnished silver button glinting with the fading light, particularly hidden against the loose cobblestone. What do you want to do with these clues? Do you pick up and examine the muddy footprint more closely? Investigate the broken twig, or try to pickpocket the button from one of the villagers who may have dropped it. It requires a stealth check, not a dexterity. Let's try that. Let's go with 3. Oh, you've chosen to try to pickpocket. That's a good choice for Lara. She's designed for that same kind of sneaky work. Here's how we handle this. The stream buffer when you said craft, and I thought you were selling crack there for a moment. You never know. How's it going, Ridley? How's it going tonight? Okay, this requires a stealth check. Roll a d20 on your dexterity monitor. The target number you need is 10. Relatively easy to roll for beginners. Please roll a d20 and tell me the total. So we do this. And we rolled a 9. 9. All right, so you rolled 9 plus 3, 12. Okay, that's a pretty good roll. You successfully attempting to pickpocket the button. As you carefully approach the villagers, a stout woman named Martha, who was nervously knitting, you deftly reach out and snatch her silver button from her cloak without her noticing. Surprisingly easily, thanks for your nimble fingers and Lyra's training. Martha doesn't even seem to notice anything amiss. She continues knitting, completely oblivious to the fact that a valuable piece of her clothing has vanished. Cilius Blackwood watches you with a mixture of surprise and gratitude. Well done, young one. That button, it belonged to Gareth's tunic. He was wearing it when he went missing. Now what do you do? Show Cilius the button, hoping it would provide further clues to Gareth's disappearance? Question Martha more closely, trying to determine if she saw anything unusual around the time the Gareth finished. Dexterity roll plus 3 for persuasion check. Okay, head towards the Whispering Woods. Let's question Martha. Let's go with E. You chose to question Martha more closely. Cilius nods encouragingly. Perhaps Martha saw something. He turns to her and says, Martha, did you happen to see anything unusual around the time that Gareth went missing? Any strange noises, people, or anything at all? Martha pauses her knitting, frowning slightly. She glances nervously around the square before answering hesitantly. Well, now that you mention it, I did hear rustling in the woods earlier this morning, just after sunrise. Sounded like something big moving through the undergrowth. She silvers slightly, and there was that flash of dark color, maybe a cloak or something. Briefly glimpsed between the trees. Just a +3 for stealth as a rogue. They're not giving you any professions? I guess not. I don't know, really. I said, I don't know anything about D&D. I never played it. So, which you would think I would have, but I haven't. I played, like, the adventure games, all the D&D video games, but not actual D&D. So this is all kind of, like, basic entry-level stuff. So, I would like to do more free flow. We'll try that maybe down the road. If this works out really good, we'll do that later, right? All right. Okay. Cilius presses her further. Can you describe the something you saw, Martha? Was it a person or an animal? Martha hesitates again, clearly uncomfortable, sharing for what she saw. Now it's your turn. What do? Try to press Martha for more details about the flash of dark color, perhaps offering something small coin, in exchange for information. Charisma, +/-1. Attempting to persuade her, ask Cilius if Ask Celius if he has any guards or men that could investigate the Whispering Woods, following the direction of the muddy footprint. Ignore Martha's vague description and head directly into the Whispering Woods, determining to find Gareth yourself. That'd be a more direct approach. Roll +3 for navigating the woods. Never played D&D either, but always looks like a good time. That's pretty much it, and that's what I think. If this would actually work, if I could have it so like multiple people are playing this, I want to try finding it so that I can like copy this, put it into another chatbot so that it can read it out loud for us and kind of figure out how we could do that. I think that'd be super fun. And then I have other people like participating in it too, right? I could just copy your chat what you want, what to do, and so forth from there. Well, typically you get 2 proficiencies where you add +2 to different skills. Teams get an extra 2 that they can add. I think right now they just gave us basic stuff. So here's our stats. So strength is 8 -1, dexterity is 16 +3, intelligence is 12 +1, wisdom is 10, and charisma is 9 -1. So not bad. All right. So let's see. Press Martha more. Okay, let's gather more information. Decide to press Martha for more details about the flash of dark color, offering her a small coin in exchange. Celius produces a silver penny from his pouch and offers it to Martha. Perhaps this will encourage you to share what you saw, Martha? Martha eyes the coin with suspicion before accepting it. Before accepting it cautiously. She clutches it tightly in her hand as she begins to speak again. Her voice is hesitant. Well, I'm not saying I saw anything clearly, but it was dark, very dark in the color. It was like a deep gray or black, almost like the cloak was made of shadows. It moved quickly, darting between the trees. She pauses and then adds with a shudder. And there was this scent, strange musky smell, like wet earth or something wild. Roll a persuasion check. Charisma +1. Need to roll d20, and that I'll tell you what you get. So 1d20. Here we go. And we rolled. I think that's a 3. Shit. All right, you rolled a 3 -1 equals 2. Okay, that's a tough roll. Martha is understandably wary of strangers offering money and doesn't seem to be very particular forthcoming with information. She glances nervously around the square, clutching the silver penny tightly in her hand. I don't know anything more, she says quickly, backing away slightly. It was just a fleeting glimpse, like a trick of the light, perhaps? Celia sighs, clearly disappointed. Thank you for your time, Martha. He turns to you with a concerned expression. Oh, Keep doing the city. Okay. Celia is clearly disappointed. Thank you for your time, Martha. He turns to you with a concerned expression. Seems like we hit a dead end here. The villagers aren't going to offer much help. Okay, so let's do this. Head into the Whispering Woods, follow the directions for the muddy footprint. Despite the lack of information from Martha, we could do that. Question Celius further about Gareth's disappointment at his relationship with his son. Perhaps there's something more he isn't telling you. Search the village for the square for more thoroughly. Look for clues search the village square for more thoroughly. Looking for any overlooked clues or signs that lead to Gareth's whereabouts. Just perhaps a discarded or hidden trail. Roll dexterity. Let's do this. Let's search. We're like doing like spy stuff. All right. Okay. Okay. You decide to search the square more thoroughly. As you carefully examine the cobblestones and stalls, you notice something you missed before. A small, intricately carved wooden flute, laying particularly concealed beneath a stack of firewood near one of the stalls. It looks relatively new and inexpensive. What do you do with the flute? Pick up the flute and examine it very closely for any markings or clues that lead to Gareth's whereabouts. Intelligence. Show the flute to Celius, asking if you recognize it as it belongs to Gareth. Ignore the flute and continue searching. I think that might actually have a good idea. So let's roll with A. All right. You carefully pick up the flute, examine it quickly. It's made of dark cherry wood, beautifully crafted in intricate carvings depicting stylized woodland creatures: a fox, a deer, a soaring hawk. The instrument is surprisingly well maintained, suggesting if it was recently used. As you turn it over in your hands, you notice something etched in the back. A small, almost invisible symbol. A crescent moon, intertwined with a thorny rose. It's clearly deliberate, not just some random markings. Suddenly, as you focus on the symbols, you hear a rustling coming from the shadows of the whispering woods. A figure emerges. A tall cloaked man with piercing blue eyes and a weathered face. He holds a similar flute in one hand, playing a haunting melody. Interesting, he said with a smooth voice but unsettling. I believe you found something that belongs to me. He gestures towards the flute and glances at you with an unnerving intensity. What do? Ooh. Oh, this is just kind of entertaining. Kind of dumb, but it's kind of entertaining. All right. Okay. Attempt to confront the cloaked man, demanding answers about Garrett's disappearance. Hey, where'd he go? You try to take the flute from him using your rogue skills. Ooh, you could do that. That would probably be like, what, a 15? A risky attempt to snatch and grab. Observe the man and the flute more closely, trying to determine the connection to Garrett's disappearance. Well, screw it. Let's go with B. You try to take the flute from him. It's a risky move, but Lyra's training dictates that you seize the opportunities. Here's how to handle it. Roll a dexterity with a +3 modifier on a stealth check. Please roll, tell me the roll. And we got, I think that's a 12. So I think we might be okay. 12, 15. With a burst of speed, you dart forward, attempting to snatch the flute from the cloaked man's hands. Your movements are fluid and precise, honed by years of training. Whoever. Ah, damn it. The man is surprisingly agile. He anticipates your moves, deftly sidestepping your attempt with practiced ease. As you lunge, he spins around, effortlessly dodging your grasp. The flute remains firmly in his hand. A sleight of hand check. As I said, this is AI, so take it as you will, right? It's something that, hey, it works, right? He raises an eyebrow, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. Impressive reflexes, the little thief. As he says, as his voice laced with sarcasm. But I'm afraid you underestimated me. Before he can react, he swiftly draws a small dagger and flicks it towards you, nearly missing your head. The man attacks. Roll for initiative. You roll a d20 to determine who acts first. Ooh, we're doing combat. Got 12. You rolled a 12. The cloaked man whose name we now know as Cilius Thorn. Rather ironic surname considering. Rolls a 9. Cilius Thorn moves with surprising speed for someone who apparently his age. He lunges forward, aiming a swift kick to your midsection. Roll to dodge the kick. Roll a d20 plus your dexterity to attempt to dodge. Well, let me know how you rolled. All right, let's do this. Oh, 17. I'm a DM here and there for friends. There's some or clockwork for me. There's little things to get on my skin sometimes. That's fair. That's fair. As I said, I live in a small town, and all my friends growing up, no one played D&D. I went to a smaller school, so no one. It's you played hockey or you played football, or you were rejected. I had 2 friends, and none of them were crazy about this stuff. So, but here we go. So hopefully it isn't too bad. It won't bug you too much, Ridley. But one step at a time, right? As I said, this is just something different tonight. So, okay, we rolled 20, not a natural 20. With incredible agility, you narrowly avoid Cilius Thorn's kick, twisting just enough to evade the blow. The force of his movement throws him slightly off balance for a moment. A small victory in this unexpected confrontation. As he recovers, he glares at you with narrow eyes. A 4 to roll, he sneers. But your luck won't last forever. He raises his flute again and begins to play a haunting melody that seems to vibrate through the very air around you. As he plays, you notice something strange happening. The shadows in the whispering woods seem to deepen, swirling around Cilius Thorn like a living entity. These trees themselves appear to lean closer, their branchings ever reaching out to you to try to grasp you. Suddenly, several shadow figures emerge from the woods. Goblins! They're armed with crude weapons and clearly hostile. Cilius Thorn doesn't seem to be surprised by their appearance. He continues to play his flute, seemingly conducting the attack. Now you're surrounded by goblins. This is a combat encounter. Let's see. Here's what you need to do. Assess the situation. How many goblins do you think there are? Roll a d6, and we'll give you this an estimate. Choose your action. What do you want to do? Okay. Okay. So with that, I need to edit my finger. Okay, it's a 1d. What's it? 1d6. So we got that. Enter. 1d6. There we go. There we go. And we got. What? Is it not working? Okay. 1d6. Okay. I need to figure all this stuff out. This is all just, I said, this is all just a practice night. So dice. Yeah. So yeah. Are you level 1? A little harsh to throw what could be 6 enemies at you. God dang. That's what this is doing to me. All right. Yeah, it should be a 1d6. Okay. Let's do this. Copy 1d6. Big name. Oh. 1d6. Paste that in. Yeah, does this work? There we go. And we got a freaking 6. Okay. Rolled 6. And I would like to defend. You rolled a 6. There appears to be approximately 6 goblins around you. They're a motley crew of green-skinned creatures armed with rusty daggers and crude bows. Seems you might be be in trouble here. I have no clue how this game works. Can you not talk your way out of the situation? Right now, PlayStation. Right now, this is just a entry-level single shot. They're not doing allow you to do the free flow. I'm pretty sure if I was to do the game naturally, like a proper one, I'm pretty sure it'll allow me to do whatever I want. So, I said this is just screwing around. I want to get like the dice rolls on the screen working. So, hey, Knight, how's it going? Okay. You decided to defend, attempting to create distance between yourself and the approaching goblins. You draw a dagger and raise it defensively, preparing for the onslaught. Roll for defense. Plus d20 will determine how much you manage to hold off the initial attack. Let me know what you rolled. All right, so d20. And we rolled a 12. 12. 15. With a determined stance, you raise your dagger and brace yourself for the goblin onslaught. Goblins charge forward with their crude weapons raised in attack. However, your defense proves surprisingly effective. Your quick reflexes and practiced movements allow you to parry several of their attacks, deflecting their blows with one of your daggers. One particularly clumsy goblin managed to get in close, but you sidestep its clumsy lunge and deliver a swift kick to its shins, stunning it momentarily. Goblins are hesitant now, realizing that you're not an easy target. They continue to press their attacks, but their movements are less coordinated and more cautious. Cilius Thorn continues to play his flute. The haunting melody intensifies as the battle rages on. The shadows deepen around him, and the green goblins seem to move at an unnatural speed and coordination. Almost like they're being controlled by something. Roll for attack. Dagger, d20 plus dexterity. Determine. Okay. Let's see. Now another d20. 11. Not bad. I want to actually do this another time with my camera. It can actually point towards my desk, and actually I want to throw like actual dice and just have another camera here so that you always have like a live feed of this. I think that'd be kind of cool. So, as I said, this is just something different to try out tonight. Okay. With a focused burst of energy, you lunge forward. Pitiful shadow goblins. With a focused burst of energy, you lunge forward and thrust your dagger into one of the most aggressive goblins. The blade finds its mark, piercing through the goblin's crude armor and into his flesh. The goblin leads out to screech as cries, screeching cry as it collapses to the ground, lifeless. I gotta like find like a soundboard as well as all this too, right? The remaining goblins recoil in surprise and confusion. Silius stops playing his flute momentarily, observing the fallen goblin with calculated glaze. Impressive, he says with a hint of grudgingly respect in his voice. You're more resourceful than I have anticipated. However, as he speaks, another wave of goblins emerges from the shadows. This time, they're accompanied by 2 hulking orcs. They charge towards you with ferocious intent. The battle has escalated significantly. You have to face a total of 6 goblins and 2 orcs. Fuck. Roll for initiative. Roll a d20 and see who rolls. That would have been better with the 17. I would have taken that. 10. You roll a 10. Celia's Thorn rolls a 17. Celia's Thorn clearly enjoys the chaos he has created, moves with a surprising speed and power, swinging his own crude axe towards you. Roll to dodge, d20 plus, okay, another one. God damn it. 5. We're doing terrible. You rolled an 8. Ugh. The axe connects with a sickening thud, glancing off your arm and sending a spray of marks and sparks of the air. You stumble backward, clutching your injured limb. It's stinging fiercely. The force of the blows knocks you back off balance, leaving you momentarily vulnerable. Climb on one of the orcs and taunt the others into attacking. I would love to do that. As I said, like next time I do this, I would like to we'll do that. Like try having it be that more free flow. As I said, we'll definitely do that. Then I said maybe I'll have to see if it's possible to have this also make it so that we can actually have multiple people playing the game, and I just kind of relay your messages. You know. We'll have to kind of see. I think that'd be kind of cool without having to do like a full-on D&D. So let AI choose how we play this game. All right. Clutching forwards, your injured limb. It's stinging fiercely. The force of the blow knocks you off balance, leaving you momentarily vulnerable. Celia's Thorn grins triumphantly, raises the flute again as he resumes the haunting melody. The shadows deepen further, and the goblins and orcs seem to surge forward with renewed vigor. The situation has deteriorated dramatically. Now you are seriously wounded and surrounded significantly by a large force of enemies. Roll to dodge? That's not how that works. The enemy would roll to attack, and then you'd compare the roll with your armor class. It's the same or higher, it hits, otherwise it doesn't. That's fair. As I said, I just simply asked AI to, let's just do this. As I said, it's just a test. Really, you're gonna like sit there like, screw this noise. I'll be a DM. We're playing this. Let's do this. The situation has deteriorated dramatically. Now you are seriously wounded and surrounded by a significant larger force of enemies. Here's what you need to do: assess your injuries. Lyra takes a moment to assess the damage to your arm. Wisdom +3 determines how severe the injury. Okay, so we need to roll a 3. And then it's our attack. So let's roll d20. A fucking 1. And let's go out and attack. You rolled a 1 + 3, 4. With a desperate cry, you lunge forward, filled with adrenaline and pain, attempting to land a decisive blow against one of the orcs. Your dagger finds its mark, sliced across its thick hide. However, the orc barely flinches. It roars in fury as it swings its massive club with devastating force, catching you off guard. The club connects clearly with your side, sending you sprawling to the ground. You're knocked unconscious, darkness closing in around you. You've been critically wounded. Roll for a Daving's Seth throw. You need to throw 3 d20s. On one roll of 1 or less, you lose a hit point. On a 7, you survive the blow. Okay. Let's start with your first death roll. Okay. Oh, 17. You rolled 17. Magnificent. You managed to hold on, narrowly avoiding losing the last hit point. The darkness recedes slightly as you regain consciousness, but the pain is intense, and you're lying in a pool of blood amidst the chaos of battle. No, if you roll a 1, it's critical fail, and modifiers get ignored. That is true. That is true. Celia's Thorn continues to play his flute, seemingly oblivious to your plight. The goblins and orcs are closing in, their eyes gleaming in with predatory hunger. The scene. You lie wounded on the forest floor. I don't get to the forest. I thought we were in the city. Surrounded by enemies, Celia's Thorn is playing a mesmerizing melody that seems to be emboldened. You have 1 hit point remaining. What do you do? Let's see. I don't think I have any. Okay. Attempt to crawl away and seek cover. Dexterity. Trying to escape. That would make most sense. Use healing potions. Do I even have any? That makes most sense. So B. You try to decide if you have. You decide to try and use any healing potions or items you might have. You frantically rummage through your pack, desperately searching for something that can alleviate your pain. Thankfully, you find it. A small vial potion of minor healing is nearly empty, but there's still enough liquid to offer some relief. Roll to use a potion. D20 plus wisdom represents the focus and determination to utilize the potion effectively. All right. 13. 14. As you uncock the vial potion of minor healing and drink deeply, a warm sensation spreads through your body. The burning pain in your side begins to subside. You feel a slight bolstering of your strength. You gain 1 hit point. Yay. Bringing your total back up to 2. However, as the potion takes effect, Celia's Thorn abruptly stops playing his flute. He slowly turns towards you, and his eyes narrowed in with deep, unsettling intensity. Interesting, he murmurs, and his voice is now devoid of its earlier sarcasm. You possess a resilience I hadn't anticipated. He raises his hand and gestures to the orcs. Finish her. The orcs and the goblins and orcs surge forward with a renewed ferocity. Their attacks become more coordinated and brutal. The shadows around Celia's throne seem to coalesce, forming a swirling vortex of darkness that's starting to consume you entirely. It seems like you were in the city near a forest, and the insurance maybe that's the only thing I could probably that led me into the forest there. As I said, this is just a one-off shot. It'd be better to have like a proper book and like do this, but hey, as I said, this is just kind of fun. Setting this up at work, like setting this up on like AI when you're just bored, like sitting on your phone or whatnot, this actually kind of worked pretty half all right. It'd be more fun to not have just choose A, B, or C. Okay, finisher. The goblins orcs surge forward with a renewed ferocity. Their attacks become more coordinated. Shadows, yep, okay, we did that. Roll a defense, roll a d20 for your dexterity modifier. You'll need to try and protect yourself from the onslaught. Let's see what you have. Oh. 18! Impressive. With a surge of adrenaline, you managed to deflect several blows with your dagger, parrying the goblin's clumsy attacks and narrowly avoiding the orc's brutal swings. Your quick reflexes and newfound resilience are proving surprisingly effective against the overwhelming odds. Celia's Thorn watches over you intently, his expression unreadable. He seems to be resuming. Doesn't seem to resume playing his flute, but he doesn't seem to interfere directly either. The goblins and orc continue their resilience, their relentless assault, but your defenses hold. For now, the situation remains perilous. You have 2 hit points remaining, and the enemy forces closing in. Suddenly, a shimmering light erupts from Celia's Thorn's hands. He's casting a spell, Shadow Bolt. It streaks towards you with terrifying speed. Roll dodge the shadow bolt. Roll d20 plus dexterity. Okay. And what do we get? Oh, knowing my luck, it's gonna be a 2. Seven. Fuck. Shadow bolt. The shadow bolt slams into you with bone-jarring force, sending you reeling backwards. The impact knocks the breath out from your lungs, leaving you a searing trail of darkness across your chest. You take 3 points of damage. Fuck. Your remaining hit points drop to -1. Celius Throne smiled coldly as he finished casting the spell. A valiant effort, he says, his voice dripping with disdain. But it's not enough. He raises his hand again, preparing for another spell. The goblins and orcs press their attacks. Emboldened by Celius Throne's power, the shadow has deepened around you, and a sense of overwhelming dread washes over you. You are the brink of defeat. Here's your final situation. Hit points, -1. Enemy, 6 goblins, 2 orcs, Celius. Your dagger, still functional, but you're severely wounded. What do? You have one last chance to make a desperate attempt. Okay, we can attempt a daring attack against Celius Thorn. Rolling with the dagger. This is incredibly risky. Try to flee and try to seek help. You do that. Chances are slim, though. Conserve your energy and attempt to defend yourself, only hoping for an opportunity to strike back. Ooh, what do we do? What should we do, guys? We'll just have to find people, everyone like who does who plays D&D. Like, let's just do this, you know? I think Siren plays D&D. I know a bunch of other guys that would do it, but to have someone who actually plays other players. I know other people who do play D&D, but to get them on stream, that's kind of the key thing, right? So, as I said, just need to hold the Discord call, just do that. So, yeah, or there's that. I guess there's that World of D&D or something like that. Give me the word, but heads up. Hey, Vandana, how's it going? Give me a bad word and I step to you. Like, dang, and oh, gee willikers. All right, okay, so what do we do? Should we just go? We pretty much lost this one, so let's go full tilt and let's just one last attack. You still yourself, ignoring the agonizing pain in your side, an overwhelming sense of dread. You lunge forward towards Celius Thorn. You aim for a desperate, potentially suicidal attack. The gamble is fueled by sheer willpower. Roll to attack Celius Thorn. Roll d20. This is a critical dexterity roll. This is a critical roll. As he's casting a spell, let me know what you rolled. 20. All right. Let's see what we got. Not bad. We rolled an 18. So let's see. You rolled 15 plus 3, 18. With a roar of defiance, you launch yourself towards Celius' throne. Your dagger flashes in the dim light. It manages to get close distance with a surprising speed, dodging his outstretched hand just as he attempts to cast another spell. Your dagger finds its mark, piercing deep into his arm. A guttural scream rips from his throat, pierces into his arm. A guttural scream rips from his throat as a wave of dark energy explodes outwards, momentarily disrupting the shadows and stunning the goblins and orcs. Celius Thorn clutches at his wound, his face contorted in pain and fury. He stumbles backwards, dropping his flute, which clatters to the ground. The remaining enemies hesitate for a moment, disoriented by the sudden blast of energy. Roll for damage. Okay, this represents damage inflicted. Okay, so I did what? That is this one. Come on, 6. 6. You rolled a 6. The impact is brutal. Celius Thorn collapses to his knees, clutching his bleeding arm. A dark, viscous fluid oozes from his wound. He let out a final strangled grasp before falling silent. With their leader defeated. Oh, goddamn. The The remaining goblins and orcs lose their coordination and panic. They scatter into the shadows, fleeing in terror. The swirling darkness dissipates, revealing a scene of chaos. Broken weapons, scattered bodies, and you lying wounded on the forest floor. The battle's over. Here's your final status. Hit points. I'm unconscious. Injury, severe wound to your arm, requires immediate attention. Enemies, none required. Reward, you find Celius's flute, a brilliantly crafted instrument that seems to be hum with residual magic. There we go. That was luck. I thought this would have finished. Okay, what happens next? You awaken and attempt to attend to your wounds, seeking help from any potential allies you might encounter. You try to salvage what you can from the battlefield, hoping to find valuables and other resources. Let's see. What should we do? Should we try to heal ourselves and then try to go get help, or should we try finding stuff? Because I think we'll probably be brought up to a level 1 or 1 HP. We have lots of choices. I don't know. As I said, I'd love to have this generate like the scene, you know, like it sees what it sees here and just generates the picture. I think that'd be kind of cool. We gotta figure out how I can do that. I'll have to like figure out another LLM and see which one can do that and just copy and paste it. Just do that. But this is still pretty. This is pretty freaking sweet. I will tell you that much for a basic adventure story. Okay, let's go with. We can attempt to tend to your wounds. I think that'd probably be the best thing to do. Right now we're safe, but we need to heal up. You awaken with a gasp, your head throbbing, your body aching with pain. The last thing you remember is that searing impact of Celius' Thorn's final attack. You lie on the cold forest floor, surrounded by the remnants of the battle. Broken weapons, scattered bodies, and the unsettling sounds of the woods. Try to help before fighting pass out seems like the move. Yeah, exactly, right? Your arm is a mess. A ragged gash runs from your wrist to your elbow, oozing with blood. The pain is intense, but you manage to push through, driven by instinct and desperate need for survival. You slowly begin to assess your situation. You're not alone, wounded, and surrounded by the dead. But Celius Thorn is gone, and his minions have fled. Roll for healing. Okay. Roll D20 with the modifier. This represents the focus of healing. Let you know what you rolled. We got a... Damn it. A 10. That's okay. With focused determination, you begin to tend to your wound. You carefully clean the blood and debris from the gash with whatever water you can find. A small stream trickling nearby. You then wrap your arm tightly with strips of cloth torn from your tunic, attempting to staunch the bleeding. It is not a perfect solution, but it provides some measure of relief. The pain hasn't vanished entirely, but it has subsided noticeably. You regain 1 hit point, bringing you back to 1. As you finish bandaging yourself, you notice something glinting in the dirt near Celius' Thorn's fallen flute. It's a small, intricately carved wooden box. Let's see. We can open the box immediately. Let's see. Okay. The box may be good, but I think we should be checking out the body first, just in case. You cautiously approach Celius' Thorn's lifeless form, ignoring the grim scene around you. You kneel beside him, carefully examining the clothing and surroundings. The air is thick with a strange, lingering energy. It's residue of his magic. As you sift through his box, you discover several items. A small pouch containing several pieces. A tarnished silver ring engraved with a serpent and coiled around a skull. A rolled up piece of parchment covered with strange symbols. It appears to be a spell scroll. You recognize some basic runes, but the overall effect is complex and potentially dangerous. As you reach for the scroll, you notice something else. A small, almost invisible indentation in his wrist. Looks like there was where a magical mark may have been branded. Suddenly, you hear rustling in the bushes nearby. A pair of glowing yellow eyes peer out from the shadows. Okay, so this is awareness. Yeah. Roll D20 plus modifier. This represents your awareness and ability to quick potential dangers. Okay, let's see. How dumb am I? Or oblivious am I? 10. Okay. 11. It's not bad. With a surge of adrenaline, you instinctively reach for your dagger, raising it defensively as the yellow eyes materialize from the undergrowth. A large, sleek panther. Its fur the color of midnight, and its eyes burned with an unnerving intelligence, steps into the clearing. It clearly is guarding something, or perhaps protecting itself. The panther lets out a low growl, its muscles tense up, ready to strike. It's not immediately aggressive, but it radiates a palpable sense of danger. It's a combat encounter. That would be cool. Like, that would make sense that you have the flute now that you could play it, and then all of a sudden you could summon all those. That would make most sense. So, oh no. Combat encounter. I have 1 hit point. Large panther, aggressive, estimated 8 to 12. Damn it. Okay. Roll to attack the panther. Dexterity. You'll need land ban closely before it can pounce. Let me know what you rolled. Come on, 20. Oh! Damn it! A natural 20 would have been awesome. Okay. 15. With a desperate lunge, you throw yourself at the panther. Your dagger aimed for its vulnerable flank. You manage to dodge one of its initial swipes, a blur of claws and teeth, but it's too late to avoid the other. Your dagger finds purchase in the panther's side. Drawing gets a hiss of pain as dark blood begins to flow. The panther recoils momentarily, surprised by your tenacity. Roll damage. Okay, 1 to 6. 3. The impact is glancing, but it's enough to stagger the panther. It let out a ferocious roar and lunges at you with renewed ferocity. Claws extended. Roll for defense. Great. You roll a 5. You nearly managed to sidestep the panther's deadly claws. Feeling a brush of fur against your arm, the panther momentarily is thrown off balance by your agility. It circles around you, its eyes narrowly in predatory focus. The panther attacks again. It leaps towards you with incredible speed, aiming for a crushing blow to the chest. Roll a dodge, another modifier. Okay, that hit the wall. I'm gonna roll another one. There we go. I didn't cheat at all. With the burst of speed and agility honed by desperation, you expertly sidestep the panther's attack just as its claws have ripped through your chest. You expertly sidestep the panther's attack just as its claws would have ripped through your chest. There we go. The panther slams to the ground with a frustrated growl, momentarily losing its footing. Seeing the opportunity, you quickly draw your dagger and lunge towards the lunge forward, aiming for a precise strike at the base of its neck. Right, another D20. We should change the music. We are in combat. Let's see. Turn off that one. There we go. There we go. I don't know if that's any better or whatnot. Nah. There we go. Battle of the Amazon. There we go. Just more intense than it actually really is, but nonetheless. All right, so let's roll D20. Okay, a 10. So we roll a 13. Okay. Bring this down a little bit. There we go. With a final desperate thrust, you drive your dagger deep into the panther's neck. A dark gush of blood erupts from the creature's as the creature convulses violently, its eyes glazing over with pain and confusion. It collapses to the ground, motionless. The air stills. The only sound is your only ragged breathing. You stand there, exhausted but victorious, staring down the lifeless body of the panther. The panther is defeated. I'm unconscious again. God damn it. we're going back to adventure. I'm still severely wounded. No enemies returning. Reward: you find the Panther's hoard, a small pouching containing silver pieces. Perfect. A beautifully crafted throwing knife and a strange and iridescent feather. You also know that the indentation on Celia's wrist is glowing faintly with residual magic. I need to focus on healing right now. I am just getting my ass just whooped. You wisely decide to that immediate survival is paramount. The lingering magic, the strange symbols, and the potential dangers of this place are too much to handle right now. You prioritize your own well-being, focusing on tending onto your wounds, finding a way out of the forest. Healing. Roll a d20. And we got a 20. Natural 20. With renewed focus and determination, you channel all your remaining energy into healing yourself. A cool stream flows over your wound, seemingly accelerating the natural process of regeneration. You close your eyes, concentrating on the warmth spreading through your arm. Feeling the pain slowly subside. You regain 3 hit points. Yay, bring it back to 3. The gash is still there, and the painful reminder of your counter, but it's no longer bleeding profusely. As you finish tending your wounds, you notice there's something shimmering in the sunlight filtering through the trees. A narrow path leading deeper into the forest. It seems well worn, suggesting that others may have traveled this way before. Let's see, what do? Follow the path, hoping it leads to Civ. Continue searching for a more direct route out of the forest, relying on your survival skills. Rolling survival. I have a survival? Okay, let's see here. Examine the iridescent feather more closely. Let's take a look. Describe the feather in more detail. I wonder if this will actually work. Oh, look at that. There we go. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, as you reach out and gently take out the iridescent feather, it feels surprisingly warm to the touch. It's larger than a typical bird feather. It's roughly 18 inches long, incredibly light, and almost filled with air. Almost as if it's filled with air. The color shifts consistently depending on the angle of the sunlight, cycling through the shades of deep violet, emerald green, sapphire blue, and even flashes of crimson red. It doesn't seem to reflect the light in a simple way. Instead, it appears to generate its own luminescence, like a tiny captured rainbow. The barbs are incredibly fine and smooth, almost silken to the touch. But as you hold it up to the light, you notice intricate patterns woven into the feather structure, swirling designs that resemble miniature constellations, perhaps arcane symbols. There's a faint humming sensation for when you hold it close, barely perceptible, but definitely present. It feels alive somehow. Looking closer, you can see tiny flecks of what appears to be shimmering dust embodied where the feather's core, almost like crushed gemstones. The air around the feather almost seems to slowly distort, as if reality itself is slightly bending. It's undeniably beautiful and unsettling at the same time, a potent artifact resonating an unknown power. Well, sounds like what a phoenix feather sounds like, pretty much, right? I'm pretty sure it's going to be like I said, it's radiating a rainbow. So I think it's probably going to be like a light source set somewhere. Or an item that we just will never use. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So. Oh, hopefully you guys are still enjoying this. Like, I'm enjoying this. Like, this is kind of dumb and fun. So. But my throat is starting to get a little bit sore, but that's okay. Okay. And all right, what do we do? Remember your options before. Follow the path, continue searching for a direct route, or examine the more. Well, we just did that. Let's follow the path. Hey. You decide to follow the shimmering path, hoping it leads to salvation. As you step onto the trail, you notice that it's remarkably well maintained, almost as if someone or something has been actively clearing away the debris. I'm enjoying listening on this. Perfect. That's all I would ask for, right? Okay, the trees on either side of the path seem subtly different than from those surrounding the clearing from where you fought the panther. Taller, with leaves with a deeper shade of green, and an unsettling stillness about them. As you walk, you hear a faint melody carry through the breeze, a haunting tune played on what sounds like a flute or panpipes. The music seems to be coming from ahead, beckoning you forward. Roll 3, wisdom 3, assessing the situation to follow the path. Roll 20 plus modifier. And we got a 5. I am oblivious to the world. As a result of the result of your wisdom check is unsettling. The music is perfectly maintained path. The unnaturally still trees. It almost feels too perfect. Your instincts scream at you that something isn't right. Isn't right. You notice a subtle shift in the air, a slight distortion like heat rising from the asphalt, and a feeling of being watched. As you round the bend of the path, you come to a clearing dominated by an ancient stone altar. Upon the altar rests a single object, a tarnished silver locket shaped like a raven. And standing before the altar is a figure, tall and cloaked, with a face obscured by a deep cowl. The figure raises a hand, silencing the music. Welcome, the future says with her voice smooth and unsettling calm. I've been expecting you. The figure turns to you fully, revealing a strikingly similar face. It's Silius Thorn himself, but older, more withered, and radiating an aura of immense power. He gestures towards the locket with a skeletal hand. This belongs to you, he says, his eyes gleaming with an unsettling intensity. It's the key to unlocking your destiny. Silius Thorn has revealed himself. He extends his hand towards the locket. Okay, let's see. All right, so we can straight up attack, but could do it even though we pushed our luck last time. Try to reason with Silius. Perhaps there's a way to avoid contact. I think my stats are pretty piss poor. What? Where are my stats? Okay, let's get the character sorted out. Okay. What? No. Oh, did it forget who I am? This is the one thing I was kind of looking into this. It does actually have only so far I can remember. So. Okay. Okay, so we have, this is all our stats here. I thought, yeah, I guess I wasn't a ranger. Whatever. Screw it. This never got way crazier than the setup would have suggested. Pretty much. It's not a bad thing. Okay, let's try to reason with him. Charisma, what is that? What is my charisma? Is 8 minus 1. No. Intelligence. Okay, let's do that. Let's see. You decide to approach the locket with caution. Despite the unsettling atmosphere and Silius Throne's imposing presence, your ranger instincts, I don't know, I thought I was a rogue. Instincts tell you that this object holds a key. Perhaps even the reason for all this. You step forward slowly, keeping your hand near the dagger, observing Thorn intently. As you reach out to examine the locket, Thorn speaks out again, his voice laced with an unnerving calmness. Don't touch it, he says, raising his hand as if he's to stop you. It's not meant for mortal hands. However, before you can react, the shimmering energy of wave erupts from the locket, washing over you. You feel a strange sensation, a rush of memories, images flashing through your mind. A dark forest, a desperate battle, a betrayal. And then, nothing. The vision vanishes as quickly as it came. leaving you disoriented and slightly nauseous. When you open your eyes, Thorn is staring at you with an expression of surprise mixed with something akin to pity. "You've seen," he says softly. "You glimpse the truth." Then he gestures towards the locket once more. "Take it. It's yours now. But be warned. Its power comes with a terrible price." Celius offers you the locket. Roll charisma. See what you get. So let's see what we got. 8. There. You roll 9. Your reaction is hesitant. The surge of memories is this unsettling feeling of being manipulated. It's shaking you to your core, but instinctively recoil slightly from the locket. Its primal urge to protect yourself warring with the strange pull you feel towards it. Celia Soren observes your hesitation with a knowing smile. "Fear is understandable," he says with his voice dripping with amusement. Yeah, we need music. Do that all in Discord. Adam Chapel. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. Let's see. Say this. Fear is understandable, he says with his voice dripping with amusement. But don't let fear dictate your choices. This locket holds the key of unlocking your potential, and perhaps even avenging those who have wronged you. He pauses, letting his words sink in. "Take it, Kale. That's not my name, but nonetheless, embrace your destiny." He extends the locket once more. You stand there, frozen, wrestling with your instincts. The locket pulses faintly with dark energy. You can almost feel its power. What do you do? Is there a way that I can actually... Oh, I can eject from memory. Oh, cool. Wait, load model settings. Oh, let's take a look into this. What do? Take the locket, accepting Thorn's offer and embracing whatever destiny awaits you. Refuse the locket, just trusting Thorn completely and attempting to flee the clearing. Ask Thorn a question, probing for more information about the locket's power and its potential consequences. Okay, I want to know what's so special about this locket. You decide to press Thorn for answers, attempt to glean any further insight into this unsettling situation. What is this locket truly for? It is truly capable. What is this locket truly capable of? You ask as your voice carefully is measured, trying to project an air of cautious curiosity rather than outright fear. Now, what terrible piece do you speak of? Is it a curse, a burden? Thorn studies you for a long moment. His eyes narrow behind a cowl. Then he finally speaks. His tone is noticeably colder. Locket. He says slowly, "It's a conduit, a focus of raw magical energy. It amplifies your inherent abilities, granting you the power that beyond which you could never achieve on your own. But it demands a sacrifice." He takes a step closer, and the air around him seems to thicken with an unnatural chill. "The price is memory," he whispers, his voice barely audible. "Each time you use the locket, it erodes your past." Is that why my character's name changed? Fragments of your life, your relationship, your very identity. The more you rely on its power, the less you'll be. He gestures towards the locket again. "It offers strength, Kale, but it'll cost you of your soul." Roll charisma. All right. See how much we believe him. 14. Oh, the cat's down here. Roll of 15. Your reaction is one of profound disbelief, mixed in with growing dread. The casual's almost nonchalant way of Thorn described the locket's power. And its devastating price hits you like a physical blow. The unsettling feeling in the clearing intensifies tenfold. It is no longer just unease, it's pure primal fear. You instinctively take a step back, shielding yourself from the Thorn's gaze. You would sacrifice my memories? You ask, and your voice strained with disbelief and horror. Why? Thorn smiles again, this time genuinely unsettling this time a genuinely unsettling expression, because his eyes gleaming with an unnerving intensity. I'm trying to save you. This world is cruel, Kale. You're vulnerable. The locket offers protection, where only you can embrace its powers without hesitation. He extends the locket once more as offering a final temptation. Don't deny yourself this gift, he urges. Don't let fear control your destiny. This choice is yours again. Take the locket, succumbing to Thorn's argument and accepting the potential power and the inevitable loss of memory. Roll a Charisma 5 to determine if you fully accept his offer despite the warning. Refuse the locket outright, declaring your distrust and attempting to flee the clearing. Roll Dexterity 3. Demand a demonstration of the locket's powers. Want to see this firsthand and make you do what want to see what it can do firsthand. Roll Intelligence. That would actually make most sense. He's getting old. If we make him use it, we have the potential that we could just bypass the fight. Let's go see. All right. You decide to push Thorn further, demanding proof of the locket's abilities. Show me, you say, your voice firm despite the tremor in your hands. Demonstrate what this power truly is capable of. Let me see what the extent of this sacrifice you speak of. Thorn didn't hesitate. He raised his hand towards the locket and speaks a word, an ancient guttural phrase that seemed to vibrate through the air. As he's done, the locket flares out in an intense blue light. The clearing is bathed with an ethereal glow, as you feel a strange tingling sensation spreading throughout your body. Suddenly, images flood your mind. Not just fleeting memories, not just fleeting memories like before, but vivid details from the scenes of your past that you never experienced. You see yourself as a young warrior, clad in gleaming armor, leading a charge against a monstrous beast, a fearsome dragon. The battle is brutal and chaotic, filled with a clash of steel and roars of fury. You fight it with incredible skill and ferocity, wielding a massive warhammer with a devastating power. But as you continue to relive the scene, you also notice something unsettling. The details are becoming hazy. The faces of your comrades blur, your voices fade into whispers, as you realize that each moment spent experiencing the past erodes your present. Your memories of your own life, your friends, your family, they're slipping away like sands through your finger. The blue light from the locket intensifies. You feel a sharp pain in your head as if something forcefully is ripping into your mind. Oh, wisdom. Ooh. And we got a 5. Fuck. Oh. We rolled a 7. Great. The effort is amazing. You grit your teeth, desperately trying to hold on to the images you anchor yourself in the present in the moment. It is no use. The locket's power is overwhelming, and you feel your memories dissolving like mist in the sun. The vision of this dragon battle intensifies, becoming more real, more vivid, and increasingly detached from your own life. Thorn watches with a chillingly satisfied expression as you struggle. It's beautiful, isn't it? He says softly. To relieve glory, to experience power beyond measure. But we weren't, Kale. The more you indulge in these memories, the less you remain. As you continue to fight against the locket's influence, a wave of nausea washes over you. You stumble backwards, clutching your head, and suddenly everything goes black. You awaken lying on the floor, disoriented and weak. The clearing is silent. Bathed in the fading light of dusk, Celia's Thorn is gone. The locket lies beside you, its blue glow extinguished. As you sit up, a strange feeling washes over you, a profound sense of loss, coupled with an unsettling emptiness. You instinctively reach for your dagger, but you can't remember why you carry it. You don't recognize the familiar weight in your head, nor do you recall the countless hours spent honing your skills as a ranger. You lost significant portions of your memory. Here's what you know. You were approached by Celia's Thorn in a clearing. He offered you a locket that amplified magical powers, demands a sacrifice, memories. You attempted to demonstrate the locket's powers with the resulting vivid flashbacks and significant memory loss. Celia's gone. My hit points is 6 out of 10. due to disoriented strain. I thought I had only 2 skills. You train your proficiency in acrobatics, nature, perception, and stealth, but you have no recollection of how you acquire them. Your other skills are complete mystery. Dagger. Did I just like start a brand new game? I thought this was supposed to be like an hour. Okay. Head toward the nearest town, hoping to find help, and despite not knowing how to trust. What I miss? We lost our memory. This Celia Thorn. We found back. We met up with him again, but he was older, and he offered us a pendant of magical powers, which allows you to write out or kind of reprogram someone's memories, but then it makes them forget their real memories. Kind of neat. So, all right, okay. Can I get everything that's happened so far? Okay. All right. It's like this whole thing just became new. Weird. Interesting. Okay. Okay, here's a recap of everything that transpired in this one-shot event so far. The setup, your Kale, which I don't know how that worked. Newly initiated ranger was approached by Celia Thorn in a secluded offering. He offered you a mysterious locket, claiming it held immense power, but demanded a terrible price. Sacrifice your memories. Okay, so blah blah blah. Okay, lost memory. Okay, this current situation, or 6 out of 10 hit points, basing basic ranger skills, even though you don't remember how you gained them. Equipped by standard ranger gear, Celia Thorn is missing, and your paths have been irrecoverably altered. So let's find heads down and find help on who I am. Okay, forest floor feels cold. There we go. Oh, I need like better. Like I need. All right. The forest floor beneath you feels cold beneath you as you push yourself to your feet. A dull, aching throb in your head. The fading lights cast long, distorted shadows along the clearing, as the silence is unsettling, broken only by the rustling of leaves. You decide to follow Thorn's suggestion and seek help to the nearest town, hoping to piece together the shattered fragments of your identity. You have to trek through the dense woodland, relying on your instincts and a vague sense of direction. Perception check. Okay. Eight. So we rolled a 10. Okay, your keen ranger senses picks up on subtle signs. A broken branch, a disturbed patch of moss, the faint scent of wood smoke. It's clear that someone has been traveling this way recently, though you can't discern of who or what they were carrying. After about an hour of travel, pushing through the tangled undergrowth and navigating rocky terrain, you emerge on the outskirts of Oakhaven, a small, somewhat dilapidated town nestled in the swiftly flowing river. First thing you notice is weary glances people give you as you approach. You're clearly out of place. Your worn leather armor, quiet demeanor sets you apart from the townsfolk bustling about their daily routine. The air hangs heavy with suspicion and a subtle undercurrent of unease. Let's see. Okay, as you step into the town square, you're dominated by the weathered stone fountain. You spot 3 individuals seem to be observing you. Old man Hemlock seemed to be a wizened herbalist with piercing blue eyes and a perpetual furrowed brow. He meticulously grinding herbs in a small stall. Sergeant Marius Blackwood, a stern-faced leader in the town guard, clad polished steel armor, consistently scanning the surroundings. Illyra Metalite, a young woman with fiery red hair and artistic flair, sketching in a worn leather-bound journal. Each of them seems to be holding a puzzle, or perhaps they're hiding something. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's go. Let's talk to us, Blackwood. You stride purposely towards Sergeant Blackwood. Your hand is still resting on the hilt of your dagger. The sergeant's gaze follows you with intensity to make you slightly uncomfortable, but doesn't offer a greeting. Simply continues to scan the square with a watchful eye. Sergeant Blackwood, he says, your voice firm but respectful. I seem to have lost my memories. I was attacked in the forest, and now I don't know who I am or where I came from. You pause, let the gravity of your situation sink in. I need situation, any recent disturbances, unusual travelers, anything that might help shed light on what happened. The sergeant lowers his hand slightly in from his sword hilt, studying you with critical eyes. Lost memories, eh? He says, his voice gruff and skeptical. This town isn't exactly known for his hospitality to strangers, claiming amnesia, but what makes you think I should believe you? Oh, my throat's getting sore. He pauses and adds, you've had trouble lately. A group of bandits have been raiding out of the farms. Group of bandits have been raiding the outlying farms. Mostly small-timer thieves, but persistent. They were last seen heading north towards Blackwood Forest. The same forest where you claimed that you had been attacked. He glances around the square and is checking for eavesdroppers. And he continues, lowering his voice slightly. There's talk of a strange locket there's talk of a strange locket that appeared in town a few days ago. A wealthy merchant had claimed it had unusual properties. Did we go back in time? We go back to the future. All right, so D20 for charisma. 11. Okay. All right. The sergeant visibly stiffens, surprised by your persistence. He shifts his weight uncomfortably, clearly taken back by the directness. The skepticism in his eyes clearly didn't disappear, but a flicker of something. Perhaps curiosity, maybe just annoyance. Or simply annoyance across his face. All right, he says grudgingly. I'll tell you what I know. The bandits are a nuisance and nothing more. But the locket, that's where things get interesting. Celia Thorne has arrived in town 3 days ago, a traveling merchant with an unsettling charm and a penchant for collecting rare artifacts. He was asking questions about anyone who might have encountered a powerful relic. He left with the locket this morning. He pauses and then adds, I questioned him. He claimed it was just a trinket. His answers were evasive. I'll put in an order for what he. I'll put out an order for him to be apprehended, but he already vanished. The town guard stretched thin, dealing with the bandits and this Thorn fellow. He glances at old man Hemlock's stall and then back at you. I can offer you some assistance, some guards to escort you back to Blackwood Forest, but I warn you. His voice, he says with his voice hardening. Don't trust anyone in this town. Everyone has secrets. Sergeant Blackwood offers you the following. 3 guards to accompany you to the Blackwood Forest. This will cost you 10 silver pieces. We have lots of money. He confirms Thorne's present and interested in the locket. He's cautious about that. Okay. Your proficiency in perception remains, but you still don't know how you gained it. Equipment. Leather. So there's 30 silver pieces. All right. Okay, attempt to track down Celia Thorne. Despite warnings, you believe he holds the key to your lost memories. Let's just go. Let's take the guards. You nod decisively, accepting Sergeant Blackwood's offer to with a curt acknowledgement. I accept, you say as you're drawing yourself slightly. Let's go to Blackwood Forest. The sergeant nods in return. The three burly guards, clad in simple leather armor, step forward, their hands resting on their hilts of their swords. They are clearly seasoned warriors, hardened by years of patrolling the borders of Oakhaven. As you turn to leave the town square, a figure emerges from the shadow of the fountain. Alara Metalite, a young artist. She approaches you with a hesitant smile. Leaving so soon? She asks with her voice soft and melodic. I couldn't help but notice your distress. Perhaps I could sketch your likeness? It might help you remember something. Sergeant Blackwood grunts in disapproval. Don't waste your time with distractions, he says sharply. Let's move. The guards leading the way, you and Sergeant Blackwood begin to make a way towards the Blackwood Forest. The journey is arduous, the terrain is rough, the trees are dense, and the perpetual mist hangs in the air, lending an eerie atmosphere to the woods. As you venture deeper into the forest, you notice something unsettling. Small, intricately carved wooden figures, miniature versions of yourself, scattered along the path. Okay, roll D20. Let's do. Am I freaking blind? So that's 3 plus 2. I rolled a 5. I'm just unaware of everything. Just. God damn it. Okay. Your perception is clouded, hampered by your disorientation and the oppressive atmosphere of Blackwood Forest. You notice the wooden figures. They blend into the undergrowth with an unsettling ease, almost as if deliberately placed there to be overlooked. It's not immediately obvious, but they are significant. Just another oddity in a strange situation. As you continue deeper into the forest, the guards become increasingly uneasy. They exchange glances and murmur amongst themselves, their movements becoming more cautious. Suddenly, Sergeant Blackwood stops dead in his tracks, raising a hand in silence. Hold, he commands in a low, tense voice. I hear something. You strain your ears for it, and after a moment you hear it. A faint rustling of undergrowth flowing by a guttural sound. Something is watching you from the shadows. Combat encounter. One dire wolf. Okay. Emerges from the trees. Gleaming predatory hunger. You have one choice. Let's see. We could try hiding. We have a bunch of guys, so let's go do attack. Fight. Okay. Okay. Let's see. You draw your dagger with a swift practice motion. The steel glinting. Music is down. Go fix this. Do I have anything? I'm just gonna do this. Keep this one repeating. Adventure. Okay. And then we go from there. Okay. There we go. You draw your dagger with a swift practice motion, the steel glinting in the draped sunlight filtering through the forest canopy. You step forward, positioning yourself between the guards and the approaching direwolf. A defiant stance against the unknown threat. Decisive roll. It is 11. Okay, rolled 11. That's a +2 to your initiative, putting you ahead of the wolf in the initiation burst. You move swiftly, closing the distance between you and the snarling beast. The direwolf lets out a guttural growl, lunging forward with a surprising speed. It attacks. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's start. I get the initiative, so I get a D20 plus 3 dagger attack, and dagger attacks +5. Ouch. Okay, let's roll with yours. Okay, what do we got? Fuck. 2. You roll a 2 or roll a 5. Unfortunately, your initial attack misses. The direwolf definitely dodges your attack. Its thick fur provides ample protection. It retaliates with a ferocious snap of its jaws, narrowly missing your arm. Damage roll. Direwolf bites connects. 6 points of damage. God damn. My hit points are now 5 out of 10. The wolf circles you, snarling, snapping, clearly emboldened by its initial success. Sergeant Blackwood and his guards are struggling to maintain their formation, attempting to protect you from the beast's relentless attacks. Combat round 2. Dire Wolf attacks -2, a +5. You can either attempt to another attack, try to dodge the attack, okay, or tactical maneuver. Most persistent, the guards tank the flank. Requires. Let's do parry. Parry it. You instinctively react, throwing yourself sideways at the dire wolf's lunges. You manage to narrowly avoid the snapping jaws, twisting your body just in time to evade the attack. The wolf's claws rake across the leather armor, tearing a small hole, but you remain unscathed. Dexterity. Okay, so what? That's a D20. Why can't I roll better? 4. With a burst of agility, you successfully evade the dire wolf's next attack. The wolf, momentarily frustrated by your evasiveness, pauses to readjust his aim. However, the brief hesitation gives Sergeant Blackwood an opening. "Guards, flank it!" he shouts as the 2 other guards move swiftly around the wolf, attempting to cut off its escape route. Combat 3. Okay, so they all get attacks there. Is the teacher learning you? It's doing okay. It's doing okay. I am kind of understanding this stuff. There's still lots of things I would never understand. I need to actually have the actual books, but hey, it's kind of fun. I'm doing terrible. I survived this long, so I can't really complain about that. Okay, let's see. Direwolf does this. It's struggling to target to miss the chaos. 1d8 +3. Okay, you can attack. The wolf is now surrounded and clearly disoriented. It lets out a frustrating hole before lunging at Sergeant Blackwood. Okay, roll a d20. He's in the thick of it. Fucking 3. Sergeant Blackwood rolls a 3 +5, 8. That puts it behind the wolves and the guard's initial burst. The dire wolf, seizing the opportunity, attacks Sergeant Blackwood with a ferocious bite. Okay, combat 3. It connects 7 points of damage. Sergeant Blackwood managed to parry the wolf's initial bite, but he stumbles backwards, clutching his arm in pain. He's clearly injured. As far as 410. The wolf, embodied by its success and the Briar's Blackwood's injury, it continues its relentless assault. The guards are struggling to contain it. Okay. You can attempt to attack, or let's see here. All right, Knight. You have yourself a good evening. We'll talk to you later. There, okay, bud. Okay. You can attempt to. Okay, let's. Yeah, we can coordinate with guards. You quickly assess the situation. Sergeant Blackwood is down. The wolf is gaining ground. With a shout, you direct your commands to the remaining guards. Guards, focus fire on the wolf's legs. We need to slow it down. Charisma check. So we actually have decent charisma, I guess. No, we don't. Hey guys, do something. 5. Your words resonate with the guards. They immediately shift their tactics. With renewed determination, Guard 1 and Guard 2 focus their attacks on the dire wolf's legs, attempting to cripple it. Okay. Dire wolf attacks 1 attack at +5 to hit. It's struggling to avoid the coordination assault. 6 points of damage. Attempts to defend himself. He managed to roll a 14. You attempt to close on the wolf, hoping to land a decisive roll. A d20. Let's get the initial. Oh, 5. These are loaded die. You roll a 5. That's 2 to your initiative, putting you ahead of the wolf and Sergeant Blackwood in this final burst of action. You move swiftly towards the struggling dire wolf, dodging its snapping jaws and desperate lunges. The guards continue their coordinated assault, managing to hobble the beast with well-placed strikes. The wolf is clearly weakened, but is still a formidable opponent. Okay, it's your turn. Roll d20. a critical failure. I rolled a 1. Rolled a 1. Unfortunately, the weakened direwolf managed to sidestep your clumsy attack. And it lets out a frustrating roar and lunges at Sergeant Blackwood once more. The direwolf connects, 5 points of damage, and 2 out of 10. The guards are exhausted but resolute. Continue their relentless assault. With a final desperate snap, the direwolf collapses on the ground and defeated. So they took him out. You and the remaining guards stand over the fallen beast, breathing heavily. Sergeant Blackwood, battered but alive, offers you a grateful nod. Well done. But his voice is hoarse. You saved us all from a terrible fate. You gain 10 experience points from defeating the direwolf. Sergeant Blackwood rewards you with a small pouch containing 5 silver and a healing potion. Let's rest and recover. We took a beating there. You gratefully accept Sergeant Blackwood's offer. Immediately seeking shelter from the fading sunlight, you administer the healing potion to your wounds. 5 points were damaged or swiftly restored. My hit points, everyone's. There we go. Sergeant Blackwood and the guards share a meager meal with dried rations, recounting their harrowing encounters with the direwolf. The air is thick with an exhaustion and relief. As you rest, the notion of something glinting in the dirt, something glinting in the dirt near where the wolf fell. A small, intricate wooden token depicting a stylized raven. You pick it up, examine it. It feels strangely warm to the touch. Do I still have the flute? That makes me wonder. Let's see. Let's examine more investigative. Okay. You carefully examine the wooden token, turning it over in your hands. The carving is remarkably detailed. The raven's feathers are individually etched. It seems like you hold a glimmer of ancient wisdom. As you focus on it, you feel a faint energy emanating from the token. Yeah. What do we got? Oh. Cheap sakes. Still 5 silver is the equivalent of $5. Saving his life. You suck. Okay, we got a roll to 20. Okay, as you concentrate on the raven token, a vision floods your mind. Fragmented images of an ancient ritual performed beneath the watchful gaze of the towering oak tree. You see hooded figures chanting in a forgotten language and a powerful magic energy swirling around the token itself. Type in check inventory. I want to check that. I'm going to check that. You realize with a jolt that this token is not just merely a trinket. It's a key to something more significant than a simple wolf attack. You sense a connection with the ancient order of protectors known as the Raven Guard, who are sworn to safeguard Blackwood Forest from dark forces. Suddenly, you hear a rustling from the undergrowth nearby. God damn it! Wait a minute. Emerging from suddenly you hear rustling. Hearing rustling of the undergrowth nearby, and a voice whispers in the wind. The raven has awakened. Emerging from the shadows is a tall cloaked figure, an elderly woman with piercing blue eyes and a withered face. She wears a simple leather armor adorned with raven feathers. She carries a staff polished with obsidian stone. Greetings, traveler, she says, her voice calm but firm. I'm Lyra, a member of the Raven Guard. I've been expecting you. Hey? What do... To the... What? Now it's just making up stuff here. Okay, what happened to the flute from earlier? Fantastic question. You're right to remember it. The wooden flute was an important part of your starting equipment. During the chaos of the fight during the direwolf, as you dodged and weaved, attempting to coordinate with the guards, you instinctively reached for the flute The sudden burst of magic seemed to momentarily disorient the beast, given the sergeant fire backwooded opening. However, in the heat of the moment, you weren't paying attention to your surroundings. As the wolf fell, the adrenaline subsided. You realized that in dismay that the flute is gone. It may have been snatched by either the dire wolf or perhaps one of the other guards, though they wouldn't have admitted to it. It seems a valuable item vanished into the depths of the Blackwood Forest. Actually, how far does this actually go up? Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I thought I was... Okay, we gotta make this game remember. Hey, Sync. How's it going? I thought that... A human rogue. You're absolutely right. I caught up the narrative and completely overlooked the established backstory of your character. Kaylin. Let's rewind. You were initially introduced as Kaylin, a skilled rogue. With characters, Raven Guard, flute. Thanks for pointing over my sight. Support remains insane. Okay. Now that we're credit, let's continue on where we left with Lara. A member of the layer. God damn it. You're doing good? Good. Okay. So clearly we have to kind of keep track of this game. We'll have to make sure it knows what the hell we're doing half the time. It's the future of D&D. I wouldn't say that necessarily, Siren. This thing is kind of dumb. It works. It's a very, very... Well, I'm playing just a one-shot, like an entry-level one-shot. I never played D&D before. So right now it's kind of... It forgot who my character was. We became someone else. We missed a key item. Storyline's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's exactly it. Wasn't my name Lara? Yeah, that's what I thought too. It even says it at the very beginning here. Because I went to the very beginning. Let's see. Home. So yeah. Let's see. Okay. Excellent choice. You've chosen Lyra Shadow Moon. Then we became someone else. So I don't know. All I did was I checked my my stats and then it like completely just crippled my character. So God damn it. That's okay. All right. Okay, attempt to attack her. She's okay, let's see. Hello, Lyra. As we're being someone else. You approach Lyra cautiously, your hand instinctively hovering near the hilt of your dagger. Greetings, traveler. You say, attempting in a friendly tone. Despite the unsettling circumstances, I couldn't help but notice you and the token. It seems you've resonated a history I'm only beginning to understand. Lyra studies you intently for a moment, her blue eyes unwavering. Indeed, she replies, her voice measured. The Raven token is a powerful artifact, a conduit to the memories of the Raven Guard. But its power comes with great responsibility. Blackwood Forest is under threat. Kaylin, a darkness stirs within these woods, and we need your help. Ugh. She pauses to continue. The dire wolf was merely a scout, a warning sent by something far more sinister. We believe it's connected to the disruption of the ancient wards protecting this area. Lyra gestures towards a crumbling stone altar, partially hidden behind her. This altar is one of the few remaining points of power. It is corrupted. We suspect the ritual is underway. Suddenly, you hear a low growl come from the shadows. Not from the sound of an animal, but something unnatural. Roll for initiative. Okay, so D20. Okay, we got this. Finally, we get a good roll. God damn. You roll an impressive 18. Your reflex is sharp, honed by many years of training as a rogue. You swiftly draw your dagger, turn towards the source of the growl, positioning yourself for a potential attack. Lyra raises her staff defensively, scanning around the surrounding trees. Whatever it is, she says grimly, it's close. As you move to investigate, a shadow figure, vaguely humanoid in shape, emerges from behind the altar. It's tall and gaunt, breathed in swirling darkness. Its glowing red eyes. It raises a skeletal hand. A wave of necrotic energy blasts towards you. New encounter. Shadow creature. Let's see. Rolled d12 plus 6. Necrotic energy blast damage 3. That. Kalen attack is 3 plus 20 dagger. And what are we doing again? This is... I just kind of messed around with AI. And this is essentially... We're just doing story time with Stu. And I'm just playing like a very, very, very basic version of D&D. And it's just more of just kind of just testing this out. With AI models, you can only put in so many prompts. But I'm actually hosting this on my own computer. So it's actually not going anywhere. So it's kind of neat. So yeah, we'll see. So it's just kind of story time. As in, this is all just completely randomly generated. I have the overlay for the throwing the dice on the screen there. It's kind of neat. All right, so what do we do? Attempt to attack the shadow creature with that. Okay, that's... I don't think my damage is that good, so... let's try to dodge for now. I like killing the AI. There's nothing wrong with that. As I said, AI is terrible. But this way, at least I'm not like, it's not going to a data center. This is all just running directly on my computer. And it's been actually pretty dumb so far. Reacting swiftly, you dive to the side just as the wave of necrotic energy slaps to the ground where you're standing. The force of the blast throws you backwards for a few feet, sending loose dirt and stone scattering. You manage to avoid taking any direct damage, but the air is thick with a sickly sweet odor, the stench of decay. The shadow creature recoils slightly from the blast, momentarily disoriented. It lets out a frustrating shriek before resuming its menacing posture. Lyra expertly waves around the creature, her staff crackling with protective energy. It's feeding on the corrupted air, she shouts. We need to disrupt its connection. Oh, why am I getting a cold now? My nose is just stuffed. So dexterity check. To attempt a precise strike against the shadow creature to avoid its attacks, it will determine if we successfully damage it. So we need a d20. Fuck, a 3. My character sucks. Unfortunately, you attempt to strike the shadow creature as clumsy and rushed. You manage to get close enough to swing your dagger, but your timing is off, and you miss completely. The creature swiftly retaliates. Another blast of necrotic energy, this time directly at Lyra. Okay, Lyra attack roll d6. Roll for Lyra's attack roll. And she gets 11. Oh, okay, that's not bad. Staff crackles with blue energy as she unleashes a precise blast of force against the shadow creature. The creature recoils violently. Its shadowy form flickers and disoriented. The blast connects squarely in its chest, momentarily disrupting its concentration. The shadow creature lets out a piercing shriek of pain and stumbling backwards, revealing a glimpse of what lies beneath. A pulsating, corrupted heart radiating dark energy. Okay, Okay, it has 15 health points. Shadow creature has 15 health, or 10 health. We need the teammates to jump them. That's what we're gonna try. We have 2. What happened to the guards? Where the fuck are they? Let's see. The air grows colder as the creature struggles to maintain its form. You notice that its corrupted altar is glowing with even brighter intensity. It seems to be fueling the shadow creature's power. What do? Attack the weakened shadow creature with your dagger, aiming for a decisive blow. It is weakened. You attempt to disrupt the corrupted altar, hoping to sever its creature's connection to the source of power. Focus on protecting Lyra as she continues to attack the creature. Let's go after the altar. Let's see. That has to do something. Do that. You immediately shift your focus from the shadow creature from the corrupted altar, recognizing that disrupting its energy flow is key to defeating this thing. You dart forward. You dart forward, dodging a desperate swipe of the creature's shadowy hand. As you approach the altar, you notice the intricate runes are carved on its surface, glowing with an unsettling crimson light. You instinctively recognize them as words designed to contain dark magic. They've all been twisted and corrupted. Roll a d20 plus 8. My intelligence is actually pretty high. God damn. Okay, let's decipher the runes. 14. At least you guys can see what I roll, right? With a surge of concentration, your rogue training kicks in. You meticulously examine the runes, tracing their patterns with your fingers, recalling fragments of ancient lore gleaned from dusty scrolls and whispering tales. The corruption energy seemed to resist your efforts at first, but as you focus your will, a faint glimmer of recognition sparks within you. You realize that the runes are designed to channel positive energy, life force, into this altar, but something has poisoned them. Twisting their purpose, you instinctively understand that reversing this corruption requires a counter ritual, a channeling of pure, untainted energy. Suddenly, Lyra shouts, I got an idea! Raven token! She gestures towards the token as you carry. With a swift movement, she presses it against the altar. As the token makes contact, a brilliant white energy erupts from the altar, washing over the shadow creature. Its creature shrieks in agony as its form begins to unravel, dissolving into wisps of black smoke. The corruption of energy dissipates, and the runes on the altar regain their original glow. The last vestige of the shadow creature vanishes completely, leaving behind a faint scent of ozone and the sense of profound relief. Victory! You have successfully disrupted the ritual and vanquished the shadow creature. Lyra turns towards you, her expression grim but relieved. Well done, Kaylin. Is that one of the guys from the Critical Role? She says, you possess a rare talent for understanding ancient magic. The Raven Guard will need your skills. Hey, XP. All right. Okay. So now what do we do? Investigate the source of the corruption that affected the altar. Continue training with Lyra. Learning more about the Raven Guard's history and tactics. Seek out information about the Raven Guard. Let's investigate more. So what do you guys think of this so far? As I said, this has been a interesting stream, to say the least. It is a little bit tougher on the throat right now because I don't talk a lot in my life, so I need to I should be drinking water, not Coke. Okay. You carefully examine the altar, now radiating a gentle protective light. The air feels cleaner, lighter. As you run your hand over the smooth stone, you notice something embedded within the base of the altar. A small, intricately carved wooden box, particularly concealed by dust and debris. It's clearly old, crafted from dark wood, with silver inlays depicting stylized ravens. The box is locked with a complex mechanism. Several rotating rings and sliding panels. Oh God, not a sliding puzzle. God, no. Intelligence, but I have thievery, I am a rogue. To attempt to open the box without damaging. This will determine if you successfully lock its secrets. So 1d20. What the fuck kind of rogue am I? 1. Critical failure. Yeah, just pick it up and with painstaking care, you set it about attempting to pick the lock on the wooden box. The mechanism is surprisingly intricate with tiny gears and levers that seem to resist your efforts. You manipulate the rings and panels, feeling to give any resistance, but it's no use. The lock remains stubbornly sealed. Suddenly, a voice echoes in your head, not spoken aloud, but directly into your thoughts. It's an ancient resonance and filled with sorrow. Pretty much, right? Leave it be. Some secrets are best left undisturbed. As the voice fades, you notice that the silver inlinings of the box have shifted slightly, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside lies a single object, a small obsidian raven pendant, identical to the raven totem that you were initially holding. However, this pendant is different. It pulses with a faint dark energy. As you reach for it, you feel a surge of unease, almost like a warning. Lyra notices your actions and speaks urgently. Caleb, don't touch that. That raven token is meant to protect against that kind of thing. To draw out the darkness, not become entangled with it. Roll d20 plus 4. Determine if you can resist the temptation. Let's see. And it's gonna be, hey, 18. It's not bad. Impressive, you roll an 18. With a surge of willpower, you consciously push aside the unsettling feeling emanating from the obsidian raven pendant. You recognize that voice and the urge to possess it. It's a trick, a lure designed to draw you into something dangerous. You quickly retract your hand, leaving the pendant untouched within the box. Lyra breathes a sigh of relief. Thank you, Keelan. She says as her eyes narrow. That was close. Seems like this place holds more secrets than we initially realized. As you examine the box further, you notice an inscription etched onto the underside, in a language you recognize as ancient Draconic. The heart of shadows sleeps within. Suddenly, the ground begins to tremble. Corruption of the altar begins to glow with even more ancient crimson light. A deep and guttural growl echoes through the chamber. From the shadows beneath the altar, a massive form begins to rise. A towering shadow dragon. Wreathed in darkness and radiating immense power. We're fighting a dragon! Alright, Shadow Dragon unleashes a torrent of draconic energy at you. Determine your action and see where we are. Okay. We got a 17. Not bad. Getting some good rolls now, finally. You burst into action, dodging the initial blast of necrotic energy and surprising his agility. The dragon's attack narrowly misses you, leaving a scorch mark in the stone where you were standing. The shadow dragon roars with frustration. Its eyes burn with malevolent intent, lunging towards you, claws extended. Okay, dexterity save, D plus 7 to avoid being slashed by the dragon's claws. This is a cruel roll to determine if you escape the deadly attack. It's not bad at all. 13. 20. With a burst of speed, you nearly sidestep the shadow dragon's sweeping claw. It slams its wall behind you with a deafening crush, sending shards of stone flying. The dragon, momentarily disoriented by your agility, pauses for a fraction of a second. Seizing the opportunity, you draw your dagger and lunge towards, aiming for a vulnerable spot just beneath its jaw. Roll 20. Okay. Let's see. Draw 20. This is a critical attack, potentially to inflict significant damage. Natural 20. Wow. 1. Wow. Your dagger strikes true, but it's glancingly ineffective. The blade barely scratches the dragon's thick hide. Quiet! The blade barely scratches the dragon's thick hide as it lets out a deafening roar of fury. The clawed hand comes around your arm with a terrifying force, sending you sprawling backwards onto the back stone floor. The shadow dragon raises its head, regarding you with a cold, calculating eyes. A jet of necrotic energy blasts from its mouth, engulfing you in darkness. Ooh, damage. You take massive damage from the attack. My HP is 18 out of 25. I had a lot less. Lyra immediately rushes to your side, attempting to shield you from with her staff. The dragon presses for another attack. Okay. The dragon unleashes devastating shadow blows, a swirling vortex of darkness that threatens to consume everything in its path. Okay. Determined your attack, overwhelmed with attack. What do you do? Let's see. We could use. Let's attempt to dodge and repossession again. What? You roll a d20 and get a 12. What? How? What? Huh? I didn't. What? Okay. You guys see it exactly as I am doing it, so. Okay. You roll d20 and get 12. With a desperate burst of speed, you nearly avoid the brunt shadow of the breath. Swirling darkness around the chamber, chilling you to the bone. But you manage to dodge its primary path, tumbling across the stone floor towards the relative safety of the altar. Lyra is shielding you with her staff, deflecting some of the shadow injury, but she is visibly strained. Kaylee, get behind the altar! She shouts as the roar over the dragon. It's our only chance. As you scramble towards the altar, the shadow dragon unleashes its final furious attack, a concentrated blast of necrotic energy aimed directly at your head. Roll dexterity save. Roll. Okay. Oh goddamn! Why is this cold? Yeah, 11. Not bad, because it's lad plus 7. With incredible reflexes, you dive behind the altar just as the blast of necrotic energy slams into the space where you were standing. The impact sends shockwaves throughout the chamber, rattling the stones and throwing Lyra off balance. The air crackles with residual energy. The shadow dragon, momentarily stunned by your near-death experience, roars in frustration and begins to retreat back into the shadows beneath the altar. It seems that disrupting its ritual has weakened it considerably. However, as it disappears, a shimmering portal opens up briefly above the altar, revealing a glimpse of a dark, twisted realm filled with swirling shadows with an unsettling whisper. From within the portal, a single skeleton hand reaches out, grasping. Was 9 plus 10? Well, that's 19. Or did I type that in wrong? It's who knows with all this stuff. Okay, where am I? Okay. From the portal, a single skeleton hand reaches out, grasping the obsidian raven pendant lying still in the wooden box. You must retrieve the wooden box before it falls into the hand of whatever lurks in the shadowy realm. Okay. Lyra, recovering from the blast, looks at you with a mix of awe and concern. Kaelin, she says, you stumbled upon something far more dangerous than we initially anticipated. This isn't just about vanquishing a single creature. It's about preventing a gateway from opening to somewhere truly terrible. Okay, what do you want to do? Attempt to retrieve the portal pendant. Let's. Oh, we're going all out. We're going out till I die. I don't understand this. You roll d20 and get an 8. Now it's just starting to think that I'm doing anything. Okay. Let's see. Driven by instinct, you sprint towards the shimmering portal, ignoring Lyra's warning. The air grows colder as you approach it. The unsettling whispers intensify, seemingly to burrow directly out of your mind. Just as you reach out to grasp the raven pendant, a spectral hand, impossibly fast, shoots out from the portal and snatches it away. The moment the pendant is removed, the portal flares with an intense burst of dark energy, solidifying it more into a stable gateway. A tall, gaunt figure emerges. A shadow weaver, draped in tattered robes, woven from the shadows themselves. Its eyes are hollow pits of darkness. Its voice is filled with a chilling rasp. Foolish mortal, it hisses. You have merely delayed the inevitable. The heart of shadow will be reborn. The shadow weaver raises a hand. Its tendrils shoot out, lashing towards you and Lyra. New encounter. Okay, we still have some up. The shadow weaver unleashes the shadow tendrils. Roll d20 to determine your reaction. Come on. 8. You narrowly dodge the initial barrage of the shadowy tendril, but one manages to graze your arm, drawing a thin line of black ichor. Is that how do you pronounce it? It doesn't seem really harmful, but you feel a creeping coldness spreading throughout your veins. The shadow weaver laughs, a dry, unsettling sound that echoes throughout the chamber. Such resilience, it crackles, but he'll not save you. It raises its hand once again, and this time shadowy duplicates of itself begin to materialize around you. Now there is 3 shadow weavers attacking simultaneously. Okay, 3 shadow weavers converging you. The tendrils seeking to drain your life force. Oh, great! Okay. D, roll initiative. I am doing terrible. This will be a tough fight. This is where we lose. You roll a 2. You stumble slightly as you react, narrowly avoiding the first tendrils that lashed out. However, it managed to wrap around your leg, pulling you off balance and sending you sprawling onto the stone floor once more. The Shadow Weavers advance relentlessly. Their shadow forms are swirling around you like a vortex of darkness. Attack. The Shadow Weavers are closing in. You're struggling to maintain your footing and defend yourself against the relentless attacks. Lyra is desperately trying to shield you with her staff, but she's clearly overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of enemies. Okay, roll a d20. Okay, rolled an 8 and use okay, and use option B. You roll an 8. A surge of adrenaline surges through you. You lunge forward, your dagger aimed towards the closest Shadow Weaver's chest. You manage to pierce through its shadowy form, but the dagger connects. But as the dagger connects, a wave of pure energy erupts from the creature, slamming you with incredible force. Roll damage, 7 to 8 damage. Oh dear God. 7d8. Oh geez. The sheer power of the Shadow Weaver's attack overwhelms your defenses. Leg injury remains. The Shadow Weaver recoils slightly, momentarily stunned by your reckless attack. However, it quickly recovers and unleashes a torrent of shadowy energy directly at you. Okay, dexterity roll +7 to avoid being engulfed in darkness. This is crucial to survive this devastating blow. Lyra shouts out, "Kayla, get down!" as she frantically casts a protective ward around you, but it's barely enough to deflect the worst case of energy. The air crackles with the power, and the chamber feels colder than ever before. Okay, so we need to roll a d8 or d12. 4. I rolled a 4, and let's select option. Okay, let's attempt a dexterity save. Okay, with a burst of effort, you manage to narrowly avoid the wave of shadow energy unleashed by the Shadow Weaver. Leroy Jake! It's pretty much right. The force of the blast throws you backwards, slamming you against the altar with a considerable impact. You're winded and disoriented, but you manage to avoid being completely incinerated. Thrown! You're going to jail! The Shadow Weaver, momentarily stunned by your resilience, lets out a frustrated shriek. It seems your desperate gamble has bought you precious moments of respite. However, as you struggle to regain your footing, you know something unsettling. An obsidian raven pendant, which was lying on the altar where you fell, is now glowing with an eerie purple light. The shadows around you seem to deepen and swirl as you hear a faint whispering, a voice that seems to be coming from within the pendant itself. New development. The raven pendant has become actively imbued with dark energy. It's no longer just a passive object. It's radiating power and its influence of surrounding the power, or influencing the surrounding shadows. Okay, roll wisdom save to resist the influence of the corrupted pendant. Test your power. So we need to roll a d20. I think that's a 15. Okay, to resist the influence of the corrupted power, you the test. Okay, we rolled 15. The Shadow Weavers sense of power shift in power. They begin converging on you once more. They seem drawn to the glowing power of the pendant. Their shadowy forms pulsing with anticipation. Okay, we are still doing terrible. Okay, what do you want to do? Attempt a wisdom save to resist the pendant. Try to destroy the... no, we did get pretty good. Focus on. Let's try destroying it. Oh. Selection B. With a roar that defiance, you lunge towards the raven pendant with your hand outstretched. As your fingers close out around its cold obsidian surface, a surge of energy courses through your body. A chaotic blend of darkness and something else. It feels ancient, powerful, utterly alien. The pendant flares with an intense purple light, bathing the chamber in an unholy glow. The Shadow Weavers recoil in horror, momentarily stunned by the sudden blast of burst of power. You feel a strange connection foaming between you and the pendant, a sense of understanding, but also creeping feeling of dread. Suddenly, the pendant begins to shift. It doesn't radiate just energy, it transforms. The obsidian surface ripples and flows, taking on more organic shape, resembling a miniature raven with a glowing purple eyes. Tiny, shadowy wings sprout from its form, beating furiously. The Shadow's Weaver shriek in agony as it's transformed. As the transformed pendant unleashes a wave of purple light, a counter force to their darkness. The shadows around them are despot, and they're visibly weakening, clumping into wisps of smoke. Oh, they're down. Oh, my nostrils are so plugged up right now. Yeah. The transformed raven pendant is actively fighting against the Shadow Weavers. It's volatile and unpredictable force, but it seems to be working. Hey, let's see. Okay, so we need to roll 20d6. Oh, I'll leave that. However, as you hold the pendant, you feel a sharp pain in your head. A tormented fragment of memories flooding your mind. You see flashes of ancient rituals, forgotten gods, and a vast, desolate realm consumed by darkness. This pendant is revealing its secrets, but at what cost? A new challenge. You have gained control of the Raven pendant, but you now are experiencing disturbing visions of unsettling thoughts of your wisdom. Your wisdom score has been temporarily reduced by 2 for the next 3 rounds as you grapple with this newfound knowledge. What do you do? Let's see. You can attempt to focus in your mind and gain power over the pendant. Try to suppress the visions and push them aside, focusing solely on defeating the remaining. We are pretty close. We could probably defeat them. What should we do? Lots of choices here. I think probably focusing on them, because then we could actually use the Raven as the option there. Let's see here. But we could just go for straight attacks, because everyone, all the Weavers are weakened. Oh. Of options. I don't know either. Ugh. All right, let's try fighting these dudes. Okay. With a grim determination, you force yourself to push yourself aside the settling visions. The fragmented memories recede. I trust in your wisdom. Okay. I'm the leader. I'm not the leader. I don't want to be the leader. Just stuck and I can't breathe through my nose. With a grim determination, you force yourself to push aside the unsettling visions. The fragmented memories recede, replaced by focused resolve. A burning need to simply end this fight. You grip the transformed Raven pendant tightly, channeling your energy into suppressing the overwhelming influx of information. The pendant pulses with a steady purple light, no longer chaotic, but radiating in controlled and almost serene power. The unsettling whispers cease as you feel a sense of clarity returning. Through a lingering unease remains. You turn your attention back to the remaining Shadow Weavers, who are now visibly weakened and struggling against the pendant's influence. They have not recovered from their initial burst of light, and their movements are sluggish and erratic. Okay, I guess. Oh, weaken, reduce to ashes. Okay, that's the attacks for that. God damn it! Just 1 second. I don't know if I can breathe yet. A little bit. Okay. I'm still injured, but there we go. With the last shadow we were vanquished, a wave of tranquility washes over the chamber. You don't need to cry right now. How's it going, Yorman? Okay, with the last shadow, I'm surprised. Final push, we beat them all pretty much. With the last shadow we were vanquished, a wave of tranquility washed over the chamber. The purple glow from the raven pendant fades slightly, returning to its original obsidian form. Though it still remains subtle, an unsettling energy. Victory! You successfully defeated the three weavers and neutralizing the corrupted raven pendant. Well deserved bravery. Stats updated. Am I playing? Why do our noses get stuffed? I have no idea. But yeah, I am playing. Essentially, I never played D&D before, so I just threw it in there and just have it kind of ease me into like D&D and all that. So it's just more of like choices instead of doing like the full options. It's not perfect, but it's been good. I've been doing this for like the past hour and a half, and it's been kind of fun. Because yeah, like at the very top there is like this. That's all I did for my prompt. I'm new to playing Dungeons and Dragons. I would like to try a one-shot adventure with you as my dungeon master. I would like to start off fairly easy and then eventually work my way up to more deeper mechanics. I'd also like to perform my own dice rolls. So, never played D&D either. This has been good. I use something called LM Studio, which allows you to play this without limits. You can do whatever. So the only downside is that it has forgotten what I played. Yeah, like my character changed some way halfway through the game, so it's all good. But it's still something kind of neat. Okay, my updates and all that. Dexterity. Okay. Next steps. You cleared this initial encounter, but the Raven Pendant still remains a potent artifact. The visions you experienced suggest it's connected to something far larger, more dangerous than you initially realized. It forgets stuff very easily. Yeah, that's the thing though. I'm not on ChatGPT. This is running completely on my computer. So it should be using everything that's on my computer, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, something else. Okay. Seek out information. Man, this is a long D&D on Dream Logic. That's exactly it. Okay, travel to the source of darkness. The darkness that corrupted the pendant. Let's do that. I'm essentially wanting to either finish this one off or I kill off my character and I'm gonna call it a stream. God damn it. Why did I roll? I didn't roll anything. See, that's the thing. 3 legs. What? 3 legs dried for this? Oh, not technically. I am not on any other. I'm not in a data center or anything like that. It is completely running locally on my machine. I am paying the bill. Okay, let's do this. It doesn't even say anywhere I need to do this. No, it actually, no, that is the thing. It's when I think of like all the data centers and what they do, it's crazy. It still pisses me off because that's what's killing off the Steam machine. But wow, this is getting a little bit more. Okay. You're driven by unsettling visions and the lingering sense of urgency. You decide to track down your own source of the Raven's pendant's corruption. The fragmented memories hinted at a desolate realm, a place called the Obsidian Scar, where the ancient rituals are performed and summon entities far beyond the veil. Based on your limited knowledge and gleaned from the pendant, you believe the Obsidian Scar lies within the Whispering Peaks, a treacherous mountain range known for its unpredictable weather and dangerous creatures. Locals whispers of the strange occurrences and disappearances in the area, attributing them to the restless spirits and forgotten gods. How many hours have I played? This has been going on for the past 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That is the most I have ever done. Actually, you know what? I think we're done with that quest. I think I'm actually going to call this one. Actually, it's kind of cool. I wonder, can I? Oh, neat. This. I think I can actually export this. Can I actually just open this up as a? Ah, god damn it. There we go. Got my entire, I can write out a book of this. Neat. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Well, there we go. I would like to try kind of adjusting this a little bit more. Oh, I'm gonna be calling it a night. As the night comes in, I would like to have this set up so that it tells me, like the Dungeon Master tells me what it does, but I'd also love to have it generate a picture of that scene, just so we kind of have something that we can have a visual representation of what is in the game. Like, this has been really, really good. I had really enjoyed this. This was actually really, really fun. Have I mastered D&D? No, I have not mastered D&D. I don't even know how to roll a dice. I don't know what the difference between all these things are. So, as I said, this is just very, very simple D&D. So, hell, it was still kind of neat. Check out. I don't know what else I can really do. I can add a bunch more other stuff in here. So, it was neat. So, check model from memory. Model settings. Okay. Oh, that's what I could have done. The context length. If I was to go set this up longer, I could have done a lot more. That's how I would have done it for, is what, 5,000. Oh, I could have uploaded it so that I would have remembered a lot more, like 3 times longer. Because that's 522,000 things. Yeah, I could have probably done it at least quite a few more times. So, neat. Same stream tomorrow. Are you kind of interested in this night or what? There we go. Yeah, I'm getting a cold. I don't know, it's not going away. Stop that. Back over to chatting. There we go. But yeah, have I played Battlefield before? Last Battlefield I played was Battlefield 2 on the PlayStation 2. That was the last one I played, and I think that was before Bad Company, so fairly a long time ago. But yeah, there we go. That was a little bit. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. Something different, you know. Something different to play on stream, right? Battlefield game was Bad Company 2. Yeah, that's exactly it. But yeah, that was actually pretty sick. I dug that. Hopefully you guys dug that too. So that was, as I said, that was something completely random. I was just kind of messing around with that, and it's like, I wonder if it's possible. So, oh, and the first Bad Company, yeah. So, there we go. So all in all, I think everyone kind of enjoyed that. My throat is freaking killing me though. Stuffy. Everything is just annoying me right now. Just becoming a bitter old man. The first Bad Company to the last extent. You like the stream? Oh, well, I appreciate that. And I got pushed over to over 350. Woo. Only another 150 more subs on YouTube, and I can get monetized. We're getting there, guys. So, but yeah, there we go. That was a little bit on the fun side. Oh, I don't know what it is. It's when I'm on stream, I just become very congested. Oh, glass. Oh, that sucks, man. Don't worry. It's just me talking for the past 2 hours. Check it out if you want story time with Stu. That's what it could be, like a new thing here. I should actually just like go find a whole bunch of like old books and just read them. Definitely, I could definitely tell by the end there, I was more comfortable with my reading. I became more fluent and more nuanced, I guess, with with all this stuff, it was definitely kind of, I felt more involved in the story. To be continued on Stupak. Next time on Stupak. My AI doesn't remember what I had played. It'll probably next time through. It'll probably just be a whole new adventure. So either way, good times had by me. So yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired. It's been a long day. That was fun. From the title, I was learning D&D. Essentially, what I just did was I loaded up a AI and just asked it to, let's do a simple one shot through a D&D session just for shits and giggles, and it worked okay. It did kind of get a little bit weird because I forgot who my character was and all this other good stuff. So I don't know, it was interesting. Try to become emperor. No, I don't want an emperor. I'd like to. I wonder. It'd be kind of cool to build out the game, not just a simple fantasy. But let's make this a let's just choose like the dumbest thing, like a strip and make my own country. No, we don't need Pakistan. I think actually I should try that. I should just see if I can make it so that it forces it to be like, we're gonna do a one shot of a D&D for like streaming or whatever random thing we come up with. So it would be interesting. So I don't know, we'll have to mess around with this. We have lots of work potential, and as I said, I want to try to make it so that we can that it'll generate the pictures as we play the game so we can actually see it. And I was looking at other ways how I can have AI be the DM, so then we could just take that. I was looking at stuff like that too. So just get Matt Mercer and we'll have him be our DM. That'd be kind of cool. So, but all right. With that being said, I'm gonna call it a night. So with everyone who's here tonight, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I am going to be hurting tomorrow with my throat. Okay. But hopefully I'll stream tomorrow. We'll still have to see though, right? Still lots of time. I'll have to figure out something. But that was fun. That was definitely fun. So, something different. So, with that being said though, I am going to head off to bed. So thank you very much for everyone who's hanging out here tonight. Have yourself a good evening. If you have to work tomorrow, have a good day at work tomorrow, all that good stuff. Have yourself a good evening. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Later.